Welcome to the Mommy Therapist. They're ready for you.
I'm Kristi.
And I'm Sasha.
We are moms who are also therapists to moms.
And we are passionate about supporting all moms through motherhood transitions, challenges, and beyond.
And we're so happy that you're here today. This is episode 23.
Thank you for listening to our last episode where we discussed how being pregnant is more challenging than most people think.
And it really is. Yeah. It really does just change all of your aspects of everything.
Yeah,
right? Your perspectives.
I agree. And I think that a lot of people believe that you should just be
okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But we're not.
Yeah. And it's okay if you're not. Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
We are so happy to be having our episode today because we have a guest in the studio.
A special person here today. I'm very excited because this is one of my best friends.
I believe you have referred to her.
I have.
Some of her insights on the podcast before.
And her poor finger.
Yes. And her finger. Sarah, welcome.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me.
Of course, we're so excited. So you have some expertise that Sasha and I do not, which is why we're extra excited to talk to you. So why don't you introduce yourself to us?
Okay. So I am Sarah and Sasha's friend. I am a mom to two little girls. One is 12, so we're entering that fun preteen stage.
It's so fun.
And one is 7, and she is spicy and ADHD.
The
and
second-borns always
all
are.
about it. So we have learned a lot in that area, but I am also a teacher, and I was a teacher before I was a mom. So I am on my 15th year teaching, and I have taught first grade. And then I kept my class and moved to second grade with them. Taught second grade for a while, then became a reading specialist for a few years. Loved that and moved to Utah. Opened up a preschool as COVID dissolved. And then I taught fourth grade, which was a huge jump. And now I'm back into second grade.
Wow. Sarah actually taught one of my children in preschool.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's been...
Have you worked primarily in public schools, private schools?
I have done both now. I have done, I guess they're all public though. I just am now in a public charter school. So that's been a different experience. And when I did the preschool, I guess that was a private one because I kind of ran all of that. So
yeah, what an experience. Oh my goodness. Okay. So we always ask our guests, what brings you to this place and this space? Like what is important to you about motherhood, maternal mental health?
So I think I'm a little bit different in my perspective with being a teacher and a mom, but I also struggle a lot with autoimmune disease. And I think that's something that is not talked about a lot. And it's very silent and people kind of suffer in silence with that.
Yeah. And that affects so much, right?
So much.
Everything.
Every single day is different and it's a roller coaster ride.
Wow. What's something about you outside of motherhood? I know a lot about you outside of motherhood.
Ooh, I kind of identify in my motherhood, so that's a really hard question. I think that's something that we put on the wayside, right?
That's why we asked that question.
Yeah. I would say I'm kind of just a curious individual. So I love people watching and I learn a lot by watching people, but I love animals more than anything. And if I could ever go back in time, I would probably change to doing something with animals as my career.
Do you have a lot of pets?
She has the coolest pets.
I have currently I have one dog, one cat, and one hedgehog.
Amazing.
So we've had a much fuller house before, but it's always been primarily those 3 animals.
That's amazing. Well, we're excited to talk to you and get your insights as a teacher. I know a lot of moms probably value that, as we all have our kids, and school is a big part of life that we just cannot avoid. But then also, like you said, your autoimmune disease and how that affects the way you function, the way you show up, your capabilities, your limitations, and what kind of maybe compassion or guilt you have from some of that. So we got a whole list of questions. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's jump in.
All right.
Okay. So you're a teacher, a mom, and you're living with the autoimmune disease. How would you describe this current season of life?
Yeah. So I would say roller coaster, really. I think I'm very blessed to have these summers off with my kids, but more importantly, that's when my body resets itself. So my autoimmune has now triggered me to get alopecia. And so I have a lot of balding that happens, and typically by October, I'll have half of my hair that I have right now.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So, that's just one of many things that the autoimmune causes. So summer is a time for my body to reset itself. I actually feel like a human. All the vitamin D I get is so beneficial for my body. It's crazy how much I live outside. But I would say it's hard showing up for my own kids as well as my students every day during the school year. So I'm constantly balancing that all year long too.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough. Was there a moment when you realized you needed to grieve the expectations you originally had for motherhood?
Very much so. So my thyroid stuff didn't start until after I had my first child. And that's when my body completely tanked. And I was doing okay dealing with it. And I didn't know that I had Hashimoto's at that time either. I was living in Wyoming, where medical care is not what it is here, where you have a lot of options and opportunities and people who are willing to seek things out for you. Then I had my second child, and I really struggled a lot with energy, with postpartum. Again, with my first, postpartum wasn't talked about. So didn't know that I had it, but I was definitely beyond crazy and did not know what was going on. By the second, I was so tired all the time, and I found a doctor who listened. And my very first blood test, she's like, "Do you know you have Hashimoto's?" I was like, "No."
What?
Yeah. I was like, "Excuse me, I'm not like from that Disney movie. What is it with the hunchback? I'm not Quasimodo. What are you talking about?"
I'm still learning. I'm still learning how that's affecting you.
Yeah. So that was totally mind blowing. And once she said that and I started researching, it made so much sense. But I always wanted to be the mom, and I still always want to be the mom that's so hands-on with my kids and so involved with my kids. And I have had to grieve that I just can't always be that mom.
Yeah.
That it looks different than you ever thought it would be.
It's my husband has to step up a lot more than I ever thought my husband would have to step up.
Do we all? I mean, we all have that, and in a certain way, right?
Yeah,
but like,
I wonder with your illness, are there unpredictable flares?
100%.
That just show up and you're like, oh, now I am limited all day or for several days or weeks. Like, what does that look like?
Yeah. So it just happened this week, actually. So thank God we're on summer, but I had a huge flare up, and I haven't had one in quite a while to this extent. I couldn't even swallow. My lymph nodes were so swollen. And I had to just apologize to my kids all day. Like, "I'm sorry, I can't take you anywhere today. Like, mom's just so tired." Like, I would get up and I just felt like there was 1,000 pounds working against me, and I would just go lay back down. I felt so guilty for not having the laundry done when my husband got home, even though he doesn't expect that. Like, he knows. And I would text him like, "I'm feeling so terrible today." And he's just so understanding, but just the guilt of not being able to do what you want to do every day is really hard.
Yeah. Well, and so much of our worth we've talked about before is linked to being productive and present.
Yes.
And I imagine with Hashimoto's, it takes you away from being productive and present.
Yeah,
right?
so much. And even like when I'm teaching, when we have meetings with our team and stuff, the next day I'll be like, "I have no idea what we talked about." Like, somebody will come and ask me a question, and I'm like, "I don't remember that, and I don't know where I put stuff," and I'm just like in a brain fog. So it just has a huge impact overall that I'm not always used to still.
Yeah.
Sarah, I think I've said this to you multiple times. I don't know how you do it day in and day out, and I'm like in awe of you.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
As a mother. Yeah.
I'm wondering, as a teacher, how does your experience kind of in that space influence your parenting, if it does?
Oh, yeah. I would say it definitely has made an impact on my parenting, but I will say that being a parent has actually made a bigger influence on being a teacher or a very big difference on being a teacher.
Oh, interesting. I like it.
Okay, so pre-kids, I went to teaching school. I study people like intently. Like I learned everything I needed to know to be the best teacher. And I was a really great teacher. Like my reviews by my admin were fantastic, but I very much saw things so black and white and didn't understand kids as kids necessarily. Did I know everything about child development? 1000%. But I knew how to make expectations, classroom management, this and that to make kids perform and do the things that they needed to do to be successful. That when I became a mom, I was like, oh, they have really hard mornings sometimes. And I'm at school having no mercy on them. Like, I'm like, no, you need to sit and get this assignment done. Like, I don't understand why you're falling apart right now. Or like, I kind of would still expect them. And I do still have those expectations for kids in the classroom, but I have so much more empathy than I ever had for kids before I had them. And I actually do see that in other coworkers and stuff in the past, that people who have kids and teach versus people who are teaching without kids is just very different. Their outlook on kids and their empathy is just very different, and not in a bad way. Like I said, I was doing great. The kids were learning fantastically, but my relationship with kids changed. And I will say every day, when people ask me, like, what did you do last year with this kid? I will always say I made a relationship with them and I cared about them. I go to their baseball games. I go to their dance recitals. Like, if I can make it to a student's thing, I will, because it shows them I care. And so I think that is what I was missing before I had kids. And then I will say that it also has helped me as a parent, because my 7-year-old is spicy.
I love that word.
And so I've had some experience and some practice in the classroom with learning different skills to try and implement at home, and the patience. And I kind of go into this robotic teaching mode, and I can just numb out and just stay on this level ground with my child when she is losing her ever loving mind. I think Sasha's been at my house one time when this was happening, and Sasha's like,
I've tried
you don't
to help
have to,
a little
yeah,
bit.
she's like, you don't have to stay this calm just because we're here. And I was like, no, this is just what I do. I just go into this robot. I kind of numb out and kind of try to help her work through it. But that is the way. I mean, it has helped me a little bit as a parent with my ADHD kiddo, but more so it's helped me as a teacher to have kids.
That makes so much sense, though. Like, for seeing, these humans as, you're a student and it's my job to help you be successful, versus you're a tiny human and it's my job to make you feel safe so that learning can happen. Like, that's so different.
Right,
and
because
you hear that. You hear
otherwise.
like, kids need to feel safe. Well, they are safe. My door's locked. Like, I know all the protocols. Like, they're super safe with me. We're great. Like, I don't yell at them or scream at them. But that's different.
Right.
Like, there's such another level of safety with kids that you just don't even realize until you're in it.
Those like emotional connections, like emotional safety.
Right.
Yeah, I love it when my kids have teachers that are parents, especially if they have spicy kids or neurodivergent kids, and it's like,
I got a couple of those.
You've got all the understanding and patience in the world, and you can drop off your kiddo and say, we had a rough morning, they need some TLC, and exactly they're going to be like, you got it.
But
like,
also, that's the thing, as a teacher, you don't know what their morning was like. You don't know what their home life is like.
Yeah.
You just get to come into it.
Yeah.
And see like whatever they are showing up as.
Yeah. And plug to parents is, if your child is having an exceptionally hard time or there's something big going on in the family, like, communicate that with the teacher, because it makes us have a whole nother depth of patience with them. Like, if I know that kid is having a really hard time, it helps me. Maybe I'll arrange to have lunch with that kid or something, like give them that extra space that maybe they need in their day. So as a mom, like, sometimes I forget to give my kid her meds and she's off her rocker, and I have to make sure, like, I text the teacher and I say, hey, didn't take our meds. Sorry how today goes. Please be patient.
Yeah. Like, so when we do parent teacher conferences, I always make it a point to let my kids' teachers know that we have a 2-household family. That's how we phrase it.
Yes.
So if there are important papers, please send home 2. If there are other things, like, please copy both of us on an email. because just knowing that,
That is
I've
critical.
seen teachers say, okay, thank you for letting me know.
Yeah.
And knowing that, like, oh, is it a mom day or a dad day? And knowing, like, just normalizing that for them.
Yes.
But just being aware that sometimes that makes things more difficult.
Makes it different. Like if you know that the kid is transitioning between two houses, like maybe that
Right.
transition day is hard for
Yep,
those kids,
exactly.
or, you know, there's a lot that goes into that. So make sure your teachers are aware. You don't have to trauma dump on us, but it does
Right.
help us to
Yeah.
know if
Yeah.
something's going on.
Or even those moments like, you know, he worked on a project at mom's house, but then he was at dad's house. So when he's like, oh, I don't have it, I left it at my dad's, like that is a legitimate
It's legit,
excuse.
yeah.
And she can say, oh, okay, well, when's the next time you're going to your dad's? Like, should we call him to drop it off, or do you just want to get it on Wednesday? You know?
no big deal.
Yeah. So,
I really appreciate that you guys talk about this stuff, because like it's not something that like I navigate in my world, right? So it's good that you are honest about it, and like you don't navigate, Sarah, in this space, but you see this
Yeah.
in your work.
Yeah.
And Kristi, you're navigating it.
Yeah, I live some of
Constantly.
that. But it amazes me how often I feel like I need my kids' teachers to be my teammate with things.
Oh,
because my kids have behaviors that will come out at school that don't come out at my house. And I don't communicate a lot with my co-parent. And so I don't know what happens at his house very much. And so having those conversations has been incredibly important, and having those one-on-one meetings, or like when I volunteer in the classroom and then say like, hey, what's really going on? Like, I know at my house, this is what I'm seeing, what's happening at school, and being able to feel like teammates has been so incredibly
And that plays
important.
a huge role for your kids.
right. And
The
in their
kids-
success. And
the kids that their parents are involved, even if involvement is sending emails back and forth, or involvement is coming in to volunteer, or involvement is attending a field trip, or whatever that looks like for you. Cause like we're a 2-parent working household. We are not involved the way other parents can be. When you're a team with the teacher, your kid respects and loves the teacher the way you do. So there are times when a parent doesn't like me, which I take that very personally, because I work my tail off to love every kid. But there are times that a parent here and there won't like me, and it shows, because their child, no matter how hard I work at gaining that relationship with them, I will never gain their respect the way that I have with every other student, because they hear what they hear at home. And that has a way more impact than what their school day does, is how their parents view us.
that's so frustrating. But I mean, it makes sense, but it's not fair.
Yeah,
No,
it's hard.
it's not
hard.
fair,
It doesn't
especially-
happen often, but this last school year it did. And I had to really come to terms with that. And that's a really uncomfortable space for me, but being like, okay, not everybody is going to like you. That's just has to be a thing, and that's real life. And so,
Well, and I think like I have a personal bias because I love you, because you're my friend, right? But at the same time, it's like I also have seen you as a teacher to one of my children, and so if anybody, I'm a little
Anybody
angry,
comes for you,
right?
Sasha.
Sasha's gonna come.
got your
Sasha's
back.
a little angry that people have come for you, you know,
Yeah.
because you've been an amazing mentor to my kids.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of leads into the next question
Yeah,
of
there you go.
how do you balance giving so much to your students and still having enough left over for your family and time for yourself, if that ever happens?
Because that's what we talk about.
Yeah, that is where I fail miserably, actually. When I give my all to my work, and I always have been that person, and obviously I'm in a job for passion. I think there's jobs for jobs and jobs for passion. Typically the passion jobs are the ones that don't pay well. But your heart is full at the end of the day. And I love my work so much. I love being with the kids every day, but I feel like I kind of put on a show all day long with these kids. Like I'm running so much for them. And when I get home, I collapse, and it is next to near impossible to give my kids my own personal kids, what they need by the time I get home. Because we have no downtime. when the time I get there, I am working, responding to emails, planning things for the day, setting up, cutting, prepping, whatever. Kids come in, I'm with them. Kids leave the room, I'm in meetings. Like, I'm lucky when I get to sit down for my lunchtime. And that's
right.
And even then I'm with my coworkers most of the time, trying to get that adult time in that I don't ever get either. So, by the time I get home, I'm pretty done, because I am also a little bit more introverted, and I really do well with quiet.
Oh, no. And you're Sarah, why did you choose this?
Exactly, because now I'm exhausted when I get home.
Because she's amazing. That's why.
Because it's my passion. I just I love that environment. And so it is hard. And that's why I say I'm so blessed with the 2 months I get with my kids, because then I get to revive myself as a mom. Be like, look, I'm not a terrible mom all the time, just 90% of the time.
I'm working.
Yeah. And it's hard. Like, they come into my classroom. I don't get even a car ride by myself. I take my kids with me to work. They go to their classrooms, and then they're right there ready for me when they get done and I'm done with work. And so, I should feel so honored that my preteen still wants to tell me everything and all the gossip and all the tea. And I just am like, okay.
Give it a minute.
I need
fine.
just 2 minutes of quiet, please.
Yeah. And my younger one comes in, just guns blazing, just talk, and needs to be entertained. And I'm like, I'm still working also.
Right.
Yes. I understand.
That sounds exhausting.
Yeah. So
mostly summer, mostly weekends?
Mostly summer. Sometimes one day on the weekend I'll get to be with my kids, but I do usually go home. If I've had a really overstimulating day, I'll go home and tell my family, like, I need dark.
I'm done.
And I'm done for a minute, and I'll just go in my room, lay in my bed in darkness for like an hour, and I'll pull myself together and come back out and be present for the rest of the night. But it's rough.
Well, and I know
That's a
your
good
hubby's
suggestion.
very helpful most of the time.
Very, yes.
Good.
Most of the time. He's
Having
very
a good partner, I imagine, is quite important in this
It's
dynamic.
key. It's key. I
Yeah,
wouldn't be able to probably be a teacher if I didn't have the husband that I had, because there's no way I could continue this balance game without that support.
For sure. How has chronic illness affected your parenting?
Yep. So definitely impacts every aspect of my life. Again, it's just, there are some days I can give my all and I have energy, and then there's some days I have nothing to give to them. And my kids have become very understanding of that, to the best of their ability, right? Like, they don't understand. Nobody in the world understands what it's like to just wake up exhausted and to battle the body aches or the brain fog, or like even just coming up with words sometimes can be so challenging when you're in that state. And so they understand to the best of their ability, and they are pretty good. My oldest is so sweet and empathetic and just like this lover beyond all lovers. And so she has really helped my younger one, and she'll entertain her, or she'll play with her stuff and kind of step up more if she sees that I'm struggling. Like, she kind of just has that in her where she just recognizes it. I don't even have to say anything, and she's just like, I'm going to go take her to go play, or we're going to go do this. And it's just like so sweet. Or how can I help you make dinner or something? Like, she's just so helpful. So
Yeah.
my home
is
support
very much my P, I would say.
Yeah. She's just kind of like my second me in the house sometimes. And she just takes on that role.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So not just spousal support, but my children also support me. So that is very helpful.
Yeah. And just that level of empathy she must have to be able to see you and read what it is that's going on and what you need.
Yes, it makes me think of like what she will do in the future with that, because my younger one is I always say her brain is amazing because she thinks so differently. And I'm always just so amazed with the things that she says. And it's so different from me. And my husband is an engineer, and I'm like, she's going to do something like that, where she's solving things or always doing something. But my oldest is definitely going to be like kind of more like me in a passion job, probably, or something that
The caregiver role.
yeah, where she really is deeply invested emotionally into something.
Yeah. I could see that with both of them.
So we talked about how teaching can kind of drain your battery. We've talked about how your illness can drain your battery. And I imagine that leaves you with some guilt. So how do you navigate guilt when those things do limit you?
Yeah. It's rough, honestly. I just have to kind of like, I'll sit with it for a while. I have insomnia as well, so I don't sleep very much. I literally have become very good at with 3 hours of sleep or so. And then I have a crash where I'm just sobbing my eyes out and stuff because I'm so tired. And then I'll sleep for like 12 hours.
And then she and I
and
talk
then we
about
cycle
it
again.
we're both like, we're not sleeping.
Yep. So I kind of just have to sit with that, and I'll voice it with my spouse, and he's always so supportive. Like, he is one that just understands, and he's like, don't feel bad, or I'll just go take them for the day. Like, they won't even notice. Or, you know, he kind of just steps in and makes me feel a little bit better. Like, well, at least if he's present, it takes it a little bit off of my plate, you know, if he can help out. Or, maybe we'll do a movie night, because then I can still rest and just do what I need to do, but still be with them in their presence and stuff. But it's not very enjoyable because I always am feeling like I'm never giving enough to them.
That feeling, that word.
Enough,
Never
right?
enough.
What is
We're
enough?
never enough.
Right.
Never.
Yeah, it's so valid.
Yeah, it's
But
so
like
common.
But we are.
We are.
the thing.
We're
Well,
doing everything we can.
And what is enough?
Right. I was going to say,
I mean, you
like
could
that.
always give more, but what is enough? And I don't have that answer. Like, if I knew, okay, if I did this, this, and this, that would be enough for my kids' happiness. Okay, then I could get there maybe,
guess
but
what?
it's not achievable.
I've been trying to be enough for the last 14 years,
Right?
and it seems like that's not going to happen. So
so many of us think enough means everything we have, everything
Yes.
we could possibly give. And I don't think that's true. I also feel like the more I've watched my own kids and worked with teenagers and heard their feedback of their parents and what they've gotten and not gotten, it feels like it's the pattern of behaviors. So it's not even everything every day. It's over a long amount of time. Did I usually mostly show up? Did they usually mostly feel heard and
right?
loved,
And
you know?
I mean, it's so valid. I grew up in a 2-parent household, or a split household, I should say. And I will say one parent was more present than the other. And even though when the one was present, we would have a great time together, the absence definitely stood out way more in my head as a child than the times that we had together.
Yeah.
So I will say that I think I always say I'm doing better than what was given to me. So it's got to be at least something better.
Just step in the
right?
right
At
direction.
least there's something, my kids will be at least a little bit better than I was going into adulthood.
I like that. I like that. Let's make that our affirmation, right?
Yeah.
We're doing at least better than
what we received. Yeah, I saw this post on Instagram recently that said, hey, grown up or people who are currently moms, do you remember your mom playing with you? And there were all these different responses of no, never, or I don't remember much of anything, or yes, I do remember my mom sitting and playing Barbies with me. And one comment stood out to me, which was, I don't remember her playing with me, but I remember the meals. I remember her coming to my games and my concerts and sewing my clothes and tucking me in at night. And maybe that was more important than playing.
Yeah. And
you know?
it's interesting how kids interpret things and what they remember of things. Because even now when my 12-year-old talks about things from the past, I'm like, well, that's not really what
I don't
happened.
remember
Or
that.
it wasn't quite like that. Like, she even said that she remembers her dad practicing golf with her and how magical it was. And I was like, your dad literally had to hire a tutor, like a golf person to work with you because you hated working with him so much. Like, you were so difficult. So what the heck? Like, how did
Time heals all wounds.
yeah, so it's just because you don't know. You don't know what they're going to internalize into
Right.
adulthood, and you don't know what's going to stick with them and how they're
Right.
taking things. So
Yeah,
you
that,
could be
like-
doing everything right, and they're still going to remember the couple times you slipped and fell on your face.
But I think enough really goes back to what is valued by you, what's valued by them.
Yes.
You know, in our Mother's Day episode, our kids told us what they valued because it's the things that they remembered.
Yeah.
It's the
Yes.
things that, when you said, how do you feel loved by me? Or what do I do that makes you feel loved? those are the things that fall under like, that's going to be enough.
Yes.
You know?
And giving them the routine of those things.
And it was so silly. It was just the silly things, right?
It was
that
singing
I was like,
songs at bedtime or reading stories together or being goofy.
I just felt like,
dancing.
wow, why am I putting so much pressure on myself?
Why
all the
am I
time?
doing all this extra stuff when all I
Yeah.
needed to do was sing to you every night?
Right? Then we're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
What have you learned about accepting help and adjusting your expectations in those moments where, like you said, that's how you cope, is you ask for darkness, you ask for your partner to step in or your daughter.
I have had to get good at accepting help, and Sasha knows I'm very bad at it.
Not good at it.
I hate it. I was actually hospitalized a few months ago because
I yelled at her.
I did not take care of myself, and I kind of started to go into sepsis. Just like that race car driver that recently died. Same exact thing. My pneumonia got to the point where my body was going septic, and I just eventually shut down. I don't remember getting to urgent care where they then wheeled me to the ER, and I was staying overnight and stuff. And I literally the next day was like, okay, well, I need to get discharged. I need to go back to work. So I am very
Like, sweetie, you're dying.
right. And they're like,
You actually have to rest.
You
yeah.
actually cannot.
Yeah.
No, literally,
So-
this girl, like, if she calls me, I freak out. I freak out because she never calls. Like, if she is,
Unless you're
if there
in
is a
deep,
call,
deep
I'm like,
trouble.
what is happening? What's wrong?
Yep.
Yeah. It's,
Yep.
yeah. But she did not call me when she was in
I
the
did
hospital.
not.
No.
Nope. I think we ended up texting, or the group chat was texting, and I was
did
like,
the
hey
group
guys,
chat.
I'm going to get back to you. I'm in the hospital right now.
We were like,
and then
what
all of a
the
sudden
hell?
Sasha was like, excuse me, you're in the hospital? I was like, sorry.
What hospital?
Yeah.
I'm right around the corner.
Yeah.
What are
so,
you doing?
I need to get better at that. I feel like that's an everyday challenge for me, even at work. I will have a total come apart at work. I'll just close my door and sob to myself and not reach out to anybody. Instead of reaching out. And
We do
asking.
that too.
Right? Yeah. I think that's
I
fair.
feel like most working moms, we have the just close your door and sob.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. So I, need to reach out to my coworkers more, but I will ask for help more now than I ever have. It's just, I have to be comfortable in that space. So it's more my spouse or my children that I'll ask for it from, because I think they're my most comfortable people. Like, they see all sides to me, so I don't have to put on a show for those ones. So I feel like I have to hide behind whatever. So
Okay, well, guess what? You don't have to put on a show for me.
Yeah. I was going to say, it sounds like Sasha is one
Sasha
of your
does not
safe people.
care. Yep.
But yeah, maybe finding really reliable, safe people to ask for help.
yeah.
Like, even, especially when we don't want to, maybe that's
And
the
sometimes
lesson.
I feel like I get so buried in it that then I feel like it's almost too late to ask for help, Like, I think I just get so, like, when I got sick, I just got to the point where I was too sick to even recognize what was going on. So sometimes people have to, I hate this question, but sometimes people will have to say, how are you today? And I'm like, actually terrible.
I'm not going to lie. Like, I was recently sick to a point.
Yes.
Yeah, you didn't tell me either,
You
by
were
the way.
also, I was
I
going to
didn't.
say, this is a lot
I
of
also did.
pot
I also
calling
did a
the
thing.
kettle black, Sasha.
I know. But I was planning on telling the podcast a later time. So we will talk about it.
Literally, we
But
were
you're
supposed to
right.
have game night, and we casually
And
texted
we did not
asking,
have game night.
and
Yeah.
Derek said, actually, Sasha's been in the hospital.
Huh.
So, maybe it's a learned thing.
You know what? It's fine.
We all have space to grow.
You know what?
Right?
Yes, we all need to take care of ourselves. There you go. That's all we got. What does self-care realistically look like for you?
Lounging.
the nothing box.
Yes, it's the nothing space, or doom scrolling, and I hate that too, because I can
We
get
used to do audiobooks together.
Yeah, I can get just so consumed in that dang doom scrolling. But I mean, I'll go take a bath and I'll zone out with TV, or I will zone out with my doom scrolling, or I will just sit in silence in a dark room. But honestly, I love doing so many other things. I just don't have the energy to do those things. I love hiking, but the energy to pack for a hike and drive to the place and then do the hike and take your kids and pack for them and then go home and have to unpack everything. Like that's just too overwhelming for me.
Yeah, that's no longer self-care.
Yeah. And
That's
so
just
it's
an
like,
activity.
I would love if I could just go out and do something, but I just don't have it in me. So it's typically lounging.
It sounds like you need to make a little go bag that just stays in your
I
car.
like that.
I like
That's
that idea.
just for you. So it's like sunscreen and water and protein bars and whatever.
Yes.
So when you just go, I need a minute, I need to go commune with nature.
Yes.
You can just drive.
Because I will tell you that, like, honestly, I feel the best because I'm getting so much vitamin D and I'm out with nature right now in the
fresh
summer.
air.
So, like, I
good
know
for
that
you.
that's probably what I need more than doing what I'm doing. But yeah, that's a great idea because I did take your idea as well with the car basket for the kids.
Yes.
And they love it.
tools.
And it contains the chaos in my car so much.
So well, right?
Yeah.
It changes everything. Yeah. How do you recognize when you're approaching burnout? When you have those moments where you're like, I need to hike or
Yeah.
to have darkness or I'm going to lose it? Like,
Yeah,
how do you
I-
recognize that?
I don't think I do. And that's
Never mind.
Right. I truly think that I just get into trouble. Like I just get to past burnout and I just collapse kind of. And it's really hard to gauge with that autoimmune. Like I'll just sometimes wake up and burn out. Like I'll just already be there, but I still have to go to work and I still have to do those things, you know?
Right. Yeah. You don't really have a job. You can just call
I don't have
out.
that choice. Yeah. So, I don't know if I can I don't recognize it well until if I'm snapping at my children, that's when I say I need a break. And that's when I realize I've gone too far, pushed myself way too far, and it's not healthy.
Does your husband ever go, Sarah, I think you're reaching burnout? Because our
No, because
husbands
he
call us
knows.
out.
Oh, yeah, they do.
He knows I'll just snap at him and be right because I'm just right all the
He's
time.
just like, I'm going to let you be.
Yeah, he's like, I'll just
Sarah's-
let her realize it.
Here's the thing. Sarah's always right.
I am.
Really,
me too.
There's only been one time when Sarah was wrong that I've known of.
Right? I will say when I'm wrong, but it takes a lot.
You will.
it doesn't
I
happen
remember
often.
it
Yes.
was very memorable in my brain the one time. Yep.
That's funny.
Which is really funny because I'm always wrong with some of my other friends.
Oh,
like
really?
I literally call one of my friends Google.com or we say her name .com because she is like Google. She knows everything and it's amazing. And then it's also infuriating because I'm like, why do you know everything?
Oh, that's funny. Okay. What boundaries have become essential for protecting your well-being?
Ooh, I have gotten very good at boundaries, which I was very bad at for a very long time because teaching, I felt like I needed to always be available all the time to parents and students. And I now have had to say, this is a job. And that's where it's at. And I used to bring papers home to grade and I used to bring laminate home to cut out and I would work at home after I would work all day. I no longer do that. And that is some advice that I give most new teachers is your contract time starts at 7:30 and it ends at 3:30 and you don't need to work beyond those hours. And if you can't get it done within those hours, then
You're doing too much.
Right. That's a bigger problem or that's a different problem because it's that you're not given enough planning time. Well, then they get what they get because that's the planning time you're given and that's what you can plan in that short amount of time that you have. And that's not a you problem. And so I've kind of had to pull back a little bit on the personal side of teaching in that way of creating boundaries of this is the time I work and I don't take it home with me because that's not fair to my kids or my husband or myself. And if I can't get it done within those hours, there's always tomorrow or I need to do something more simpler with it.
Leave work at work. That's
I like
a
Very
boundary. I
very
think
hard.
Lots of us.
Yeah, I know.
could
It's
use
so hard.
That one.
Yeah.
So hard.
I actually just gave our other friend that advice as well because I said, you're going to burn out. You are doing too much. She is working very hard right now, but I said, don't get a routine of that because you're going to burn yourself out and you're in a passion job and there will always be work waiting for you to happen.
because she's not talking to me about those things. She's talking to you, which is fine.
That's good. That's
good,
good. She's
bestie.
talking
It's
to
fine.
somebody. At
You
least it's
You need
fine.
a village. Yeah. So besides leaving work at work, what advice would you give to someone who's trying to balance being a being a parent, working full time, and a chronic illness? Like, what are your bits of wisdom that the last 15 years has taught you?
I would say be gentle with yourself. Be forgiving of yourself.
I like that.
Yeah.
How are you doing practicing that, Sarah?
You're
I've
calling her
gotten-
out
I saw
already?
I saw something shift in your face.
Yep,
Sorry, I'm a therapist.
I'm a therapist. I'm going to call you
I
out.
saw something shift. What happened there?
Yep.
Yep.
It's okay. You can get real.
Sasha's laughing. I'm crying.
No, I love it.
I'm not very kind to myself, and I don't forgive easily, but I am working on that.
You've noticed the power in that.
Yes,
when you
and
are
I
able
know
to.
that I can only give so much, and that has to be enough.
Enough. There's that word again.
Yep, it has to be good enough.
And I have a feeling that it is enough.
Yeah.
I really do.
I think I weed people out if they can't understand that part of that. So, yeah.
Thank you so much
Yeah.
for being vulnerable and sharing.
I'm so proud of
much
you.
wisdom with us.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen that side of you.
Probably not.
No,
Not many do.
no, but I'm proud of you.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks
Okay,
for having me.
on a lighter note, do you have a mom tip for us for our lightning round? Do you have something that you
lightning
do that makes
Makes
motherhood feel a little
momhood
lighter,
easier.
or easier? Yeah.
I don't know about easier, but have fun with it, right? Like, we're all in the trenches. Have fun with it. Find some fun in the day, whether it's a dance party or whatever silliness. I think I'm bad at being silly with my kids, and when I can get there and let that part go, we have so much fun. So,
Girl, you have so much fun with your kids. I
Yeah.
don't know what you're talking about.
no, I just am a very serious person.
Right,
And
yeah.
so
Well,
letting that side out.
You're regimented, I
Yes,
would say.
that is what it is, 100%. And so just let yourself go in front of your kids,
Yeah.
and you're a person too.
Yeah, leaning into the silly.
Yeah.
I feel like, when I'm exhausted, when I'm drained in all of the ways, and my kids come up and want to be silly, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I don't have the energy for this. But it's so much easier to just be like, I'll talk in a silly voice with you. Sure.
Right?
Like,
Sure, why not?
Or all of a sudden it gives you energy
Yes.
that you
Right?
didn't know you had.
yeah. Or like my kids will come up and they'll be like, we would like a table at Mommy's restaurant.
Yes, and you just
when
have
I'm
to, like,
making
go with
dinner.
it.
And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I don't want to play restaurant right now. But if I do, guess what? They'll eat dinner.
Yeah.
So I should
Yes.
just play. Like,
Yep.
just
It's
we
so
did.
true.
Welcome. We have
played
bananas.
music the other day during chores.
Oh, yeah.
And they got it done so fast. Like, faster than I think I've seen them do it in forever.
We play a game in my car pretty much every day because my kids love it. But on Sirius XM, there's a Disney channel, a Disney station, and we listen to that, and whoever can guess the movie that it came from the fastest gets the points.
Oh.
And we are very, very competitive. And my kids are getting better than me, and it's a little hard to come to terms with.
Yeah.
You want to know where my game stuff came
Yes.
from? It's from her.
Yes, we
and
love
her
playing
family.
games.
Yes. They taught me.
Yeah, we're trying to get into it more. We're more of a card game family than a board game family. So we're trying to expand a little bit that way.
Oh,
but
no.
since we're talking about with a teacher,
Yes.
it's getting close to when school is starting. I also have just a little bit of a lightning round I wanted to say.
do it. Let's do it.
Going back to
Yes.
school. Okay. So this is something I didn't start until maybe the last year or 2 years because it was Zach's idea. But the day before school starts, so Sunday, Tuesday, whatever day that is, we do a practice run where everyone sets their alarms. We practice getting up. We practice getting ready. We practice doing breakfast, making sure everyone knows where their bags are and their shoes are. And then instead of going to school, we go get donuts.
Oh, that's
or
awesome.
you go out
Ooh,
for
that's
breakfast. And
I
it's a
love
little
donut
bit of
store.
like,
To the donut
to the
store.
donut store, aka Harmon's. But yeah, you go out and you get something fun and do something as a way of just making sure everyone is on top of it, and it helps the first day of school morning go so much smoother because
love
everyone
it.
knows what to do.
For sure.
And we all know we worked out the kinks of like, oh, 2 of you wanted to shower at the same time. Like, you got to get up a little earlier, you got to get up a little later, or whatever it is. So if you're worried about the first day of school, just do a little practice run and go do something fun. My kids even remember, they're like, are we doing a donut morning before school again? I was like, I totally forgot about that. So they remembered.
I like that.
Yep.
I like that a lot.
Can't believe school's going to be starting soon.
Oh my gosh.
Me either. Once July hits, I start going back into panic. I'm like,
I know, right?
The nightmares happen. It's very common.
Enjoy your next couple of weeks.
Yes.
You'll be great.
Thank you so much for being here, Sarah. It's been so fun just sitting and talking to you and learning about your experiences. And I have a good feeling that connects with our friends listening. So do you have any shout outs you want to make? How can people find you?
You know, I better shout out actually to my husband and kids for always supporting me and loving me for me.
Love.
And if you ever need someone to talk to or someone to help brainstorm some problem solving with problems with school or spicy children. I'm not super active on social medias, but you could always reach out to the mommy therapist and they could send me your information.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for showing up for yourself today.
You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, or email us at themommytherapists@gmail.com.
We'd love to hear from you. Let us know what made an impact or what you'd like to hear on a future episode.
Whether it's sitting in a dark room because you're overwhelmed or putting a go bag in the back of your car so you can go on a hike spontaneously, we hope something good happens today.
See you next week.
Take care.